Hey guys, it's Sadie, and it's the podcast, and I guess show. Let's just call it a show. Sadie and Shawn have no friends, and Shawn sat down, and when his camera came on, my breath was taken away because your hair looks so good, and you're like, no, that's the wind. It looks bad, but I have to tell you, you look windswept. That's a good look for
I
you.
don't know about that. I had 2 different people as I've been out and about today. One person was like, "You look like your hair, not the rest of you. Your hair looks like the Matt Rife, the comedian." And then another person was like, "You look like Johnny Resnick from the Goo Goo Dolls back in his prime." I don't know if either one of those is a compliment, but they both have more money than me, so whatever.
I would, yeah, that's not, those aren't too bad people to be. I
I
don't know.
suppose. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of people used to tell me, and I get it sometimes, that I look like Drew Barrymore, but I don't see it at all. But people, especially when I was in high school, used to say I look just like her. And somebody the other day, it had been years, and someone's like, you look just like Drew Barrymore. And I'm like, what? Oh my God.
I'm
So
gonna
I
have to I'm gonna have to look her up and see if I can find some pictures that
resemble me.
yeah.
I don't see it at all. I don't see it at all. But well, so I've been reading a lot about this whole Gypsy Rose situation.
About what?
This whole I'm laughing because I know you're already gonna be like, you know this Gypsy Rose lady,
Mm-mm.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Okay, so she was the girl who they ended up making like a movie about her life, but her mom, I do think this poor kid suffered from Munchausen by proxy because her mom was always like, "She's sick. Gypsy Rose is sick, and Gypsy Rose can't do anything." And she would like get her into the hospital and get all these tests done. And it turns out she wasn't really sick at all. And here's how we learned all of that because Gypsy Rose killed her mom.
Whoa.
How do you not know about anything
I
that's
haven't
happening?
heard
She just got let out of prison. She was in for 8 years of the 10-year sentence that she was given. But you make me laugh because you're such a typical dude. If I went up and told Ryan, Gypsy Rose, first of all, she went and got a ton of plastic surgery done. And then second of all, now guess what she's gonna do?
porn.
You'll never guess. No,
OnlyFans.
we're a little bit away from porn. We're like 2 steps away from porn.
OnlyFans.
No.
That's one step away from
Yeah,
pose in her swimsuit for Sports Illustrated?
no, she's doing a reality show.
Oh,
She's doing a reality show where she's gonna be
why is she
talking.
out?
Well,
She
they
killed
let her out.
somebody
She killed her mother.
on purpose, and you only
Yes.
get 8 years for that?
I don't know. Well, they're saying that because the mom pretty much her whole life made her go through all these unnecessary tests and procedures, and she like shaved her head, and she convinced Gypsy Rose like, "Gypsy, you can't live without me. You need me." And so she wasn't allowed to do anything. She couldn't use a phone. She was kind of like
How old is she now?
I don't know, but when well, let me look. Hang
Like,
on.
no, I don't need to know an exact age, like, a
Oh, I needed
range.
she's 32.
Oh, okay, so she's youngish, and she's been in jail for 8 years, so she killed her mom when she was 24-ish?
Yeah, she did, and while she was in jail, she got married to this guy, and this guy was a mess. I mean, it just seems like everybody wants a piece of Gypsy Rose, and this woman's just living her damn life, but she got married to a guy, and they did the whole photo thing where they took their photos of her coming out of prison, and then she left him and met another guy.
In prison? Or
No,
she met
out of prison.
Oh, when she got out. I'm not surprised. I mean, I can't imagine that guys that are willing to marry prisoners are probably the best catch in the sea.
And then she gets out of prison, and then there's like a whole 'nother pond ready for her to
Well,
dive
yeah.
into
That
of
pond's probably better.
free wiener, not like, yeah, okay.
Did
So
you
I
know,
just
by the way, speaking of that, that just off subject, but along the same lines, I watch those murder shows when I'm running, and there's some like I don't know that everyone gets the privilege, but there's some prisoners that get like this room where if their spouse comes to visit them, they get
oh,
like
yeah,
an
like a
hour and they can
conjugal visit.
yeah, they can do whatever they want for an hour.
and it's a trailer, and,
I didn't
yeah,
know that was a thing. That's a
s
thing.
a lot of people don't get it, but some people get conjugal visits for, like, once a month, and a guard has to stand outside and
At
and,
least
you
he doesn't have
know,
to stand inside.
I don't know. I'd do that job. I'd be like, "You guys are freaks. Ignore my giggling."
I mean, if you're locked up and you only get it once a month, it ain't gonna last very long.
You just gotta okay, I don't wanna work inside the trailer and actually watch, but I would stand outside and guard it and listen because I bet it's some freaky, freaky stuff.
Jail
But,
doesn't sound so bad anymore.
you know what? It's weird to me that you do watch so many of these, murder shows and documentaries, but you don't know stuff about, like, conjugal visits or who Gypsy Rose
Well,
is.
I do know conjugal visits. I learned that on my shows, but I do not know Gypsy Rose. I'd never even heard that name until today when you brought it up. True
Well,
story.
that should be the next thing that you run to
Was
because
she
it is
famous before she killed her mom? She like
she
a
was
child
not at
star?
all famous. So she met okay,
She got
she's
famous from killing her mom?
yes,
Oh, okay.
and now she's gonna have reality shows. She also, like I said, underwent, like, a ton of plastic surgery.
At
So,
32? You don't
at
even need
32
it.
well, listen, I don't wanna be a bitch, but she wasn't a looker before. And so
Oh.
now I think that she's getting all these free surgery and, where it's like, yeah, this shifty surgeon from a strip mall will give you new boobies, just so that you can go out there and say, I mean,
Yeah,
really, she's infamous. She's not famous. She's infamous because she killed her mom. But
right.
a lot of people back her and say she was horribly abused and she
You're a
just snapped
narcissist.
one day.
You're a hypocrite.
Who is me?
You, because you like
Why?
Gypsy I can tell you got, like, something about Gypsy Rose that you like. You kinda like her, but you
No,
hate
I think,
OJ. Murder's murder. You kill somebody,
listen,
she
no,
needs to be on the same level. You need to talk some shit to her Twitter page.
first of all, we've put OJ to bed. I never want to say that name again for
Well,
the
then
rest
don't
of my
say it,
life.
that's fine. I'm just
You
saying you're being a
said it.
hypocrite.
What
I
I'm
can say it.
saying
I didn't
is
say I wasn't gonna say it.
what I'm not I don't like her, but I am fascinated by her. Like she's just it's like she's just in her own world and now she's like I'm going to go to Hollywood and I'm going to be a star. And you know
Mm.
what? For shit's sake, she might go to Hollywood and be a star. And yes, that's what people know her for is she killed her mother.
I must
But
say I'm
again,
intrigued. You've got me intrigued. I was
you
not
have so there okay, so there's do you get Hulu?
I think. I get them all. I have that illegal service. I can get everything.
That's right. You got that weird those weird porn channels too. No, if you go onto Hulu, there's a show and they do it's like a movie. It's like a series. It's a
Yeah.
Hulu series and it's
What's it
about
called?
this. I
What's it
don't know.
called?
It's called Gypsy Rose is a murderer. No, it's called
Okay.
oh wow, I was way off. It's called The Act.
Okay. I'm gonna
But
go
you
watch
gotta
it.
watch it because you'll get
All right.
totally sucked in. And then I'll have someone I can text pictures to and be like, look at Gypsy Rose.
It sounds Tiger King-esque, and I do like that kinda just, like, backwoods sorta crazy lifestyle shit.
It's
So,
very backwoods
all right.
crazy.
Well, I'm excited to watch it. Um, are you done with that? Because I have something I need to tell you.
Okay. Oh god, I'm like,
It's not that big of a deal. I actually don't need to tell you. I just need to tell the world. I need to get it off my chest because I feel like I pissed off my neighbor real bad, and I didn't even do anything.
about the dog thing? We talked about the
No,
dog thing? Okay.
this is a different neighbor. So I actually have 2 backyard neighbors. My backyard is cut in half, and to the left side, there's one neighbor, and to the right side, which is most of my backyard, there's another neighbor, and that's where the dog is. The dog that Shay babysat that she probably broke its leg. That neighbor probably
Ah,
dislikes us too. But now
okay.
the other neighbor, the one to the left side of my backyard, I'm sleeping this morning and all of a sudden my doorbell well, first of all, let me back up a little bit. It's extremely, extremely windy, like the worst
It
wind
is
I've ever
wind,
heard.
yeah.
And there's been bad
Mhm.
wind before, but I'm talking the worst wind I've ever felt in
I
my
mean, look
life.
at your hair, Sean. If you're not
Yeah,
watching on the YouTube channel or Facebook
you need
page,
to.
you're missing this epic weatherman hair he's got going. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
mean, it's not weatherman hair. Mine's a little messy. The weatherman is perfect. But anyway, so it's windy. It's like 3:30 and I can't sleep. And so finally at 4, thinking that my house is gonna blow away. I'm like, "Man, I should go check on my trampoline." Trampoline has stakes in it, like, it's pretty well secure. It's
Yeah,
been
but
windy
still.
before, and it's never blown away. It's
Yeah,
I was pretty confident the trampoline's gonna be fine. So at 4, I'm like, "I'm gonna go check on the trampoline." I also have a cracked window, which we've talked about, and I was afraid
because
that
the
the wind
bird.
was gonna blow the crack open. So I checked the crack window, it's fine. I checked the trampoline, it's fine. 4 a.m. I lay back down, toss and turn, and at 5:30 the doorbell rings. And so Shannon answers the doorbell because she was up getting ready for work. I was sleeping. And she's like, "Hey, the trampoline's halfway across the fence into the guy's yard. He wants your help." And so I was like, "Well, first of all, I didn't realize that he was involved in this because I didn't hear the doorbell ring. I just heard Shannon yelling." And so
Yeah.
I was like, I thought she wanted me to help her. I was like, "We're not going to be able to do anything with the trampoline. It's still 150 mile an hour
Sean
wind
just
gust.
yells
It's
to
gonna be it's gonna be a sail. Like, just leave it wherever it is. Let it do its thing at this point." Let it run
poor
its course.
Shannon is, like, facing this guy, and you're yelling from upstairs, "Nothing can be done, let it blow away."
Plus, I had finally just fallen asleep after being up all night from listening to the wind. And so I get my ass up, I throw on a hoodie and some shorts and some tennis shoes, and I go out back. And at this point, I mean, that probably took 3 or 4 minutes. I was hurrying, and
Yeah.
the trampoline is now all the way in his yard. And so it's on its side. And I go over and I look across, and he's clearly not happy. Like, he does not have a happy look on his face as he's holding it, and it looks
Oh,
like he's trying to
no.
like hold it so it doesn't blow further into his house and like break his windows. And so there's no gate to it, so I have to like Spider-Man my ass over the fence into his yard, and then we hoist it back
Do
into
you
my
have a
yard.
Ring video doorbell
Not
camera
in the
anywhere where it
backyard.
woulda caught this?
No.
Shoot. Okay, keep going.
We hoist it back into my yard, and I was like, I have some ropes. I'll try to tie it try to tie it to the fence so it doesn't come back over. He's like, that would be good. And that's the only thing that he says to me, so I Spider-Man my ass
Oh,
back over the fence. Instead of him being like, "Hey, I have a gate right here, can I let you through?"
I
Nope, he just
know.
watches
He
me
was
climb
mad.
the
He
fence
probably got
at
woken
5:30 in the
up,
morning.
but in the yeah, I mean,
Well,
he
that's my question. He didn't get woken up because this I guarantee if it was making a lot of noise, it would have woke me up too, outside of just the wind noise. So,
mhm.
was he out watching? Like, how did he even know this was all going on?
Maybe he was, like, up early drinking coffee and he saw your
Just
trampoline
like
come a-blowing his way, and he was like, "Oh my god, Martha, those damn Patricks." No,
I
you
don't
know
they don't even know us. We've never really met these people at
see,
all. This guy
that's what
pisses me off, and I'm gonna call him out now because he's not perfect. So we have this one stretch of sidewalk that is like the front part of my house, but it's the side of his house, and it's where his fence is, right? And I think it's nothing of my house. It's
Yeah?
his. And he does not shovel it ever in the summer or in the winter. And so
Oh.
sometimes we live in Monument, which is a very snowy area, and sometimes it gets up like feet of snow and he never shovels it. And so this whole area of sidewalk that is his responsibility never gets shoveled. I never say anything. Sometimes I'll do it for him. Other times it's too heavy and I'm too tired and I don't do it. Sometimes I do. But now I'm just like, dude, don't be getting I didn't
Like,
throw
how
my
rude
trampoline.
yeah. Okay.
I didn't mean to do this. Like, don't be a freaking dick to me because I'll be a dick back. And next time at 5:30 in the morning when my kid's outside and he slips on the sidewalk because you don't ever shovel it, I'm gonna come ring your doorbell and tell you, "Hey, my kid just slipped. Can you clean the sidewalk?"
It's weird that you've never met them and you've never had an issue with them prior. Cause yeah, that's pretty aggressively pissed off, it sounds like, for a first time encounter. Like, do you guys wave at each other ever?
Well, so it's kind of hard to describe how it's set up because they're kind of like half behind us, half beside us, and it's a
Okay.
street, but it's a street that we don't really drive on to go in front of their house. So yeah, it's just a weird setup. We don't see them. They don't ever seem to come out. I don't think they come out a whole lot. And so
Oh.
I don't know a whole lot about them. They could be the nicest people in the world, but in a year
What
and a
does
half of
Shannon say
living in
about
this
it?
house, well, it was kind of a mad frenzy. She was trying to leave she was wondering if she could help. She was trying to get me to do it, and I was bitching and moaning and saying that there's nothing I can do. Seriously,
I
what are you
didn't
gonna do? You're
even
gonna
want a
lift this thing.
trampoline.
It's 100. Well, that's true too, but it's 100-mile-an-hour wind gust. We're gonna lift this thing in the sky, and it's gonna become a kite. Like, can we just leave it in your backyard for now? And when the wind dies down, I'll come get it. And you won't even have to help me lift it. I'll lift it all by
Calm your
myself.
tits,
He
Sarge.
wanted it out right now. Like,
Ooh.
the other thing that made me kind of laugh a little bit is, like, instead of staying in his backyard. It's not like extremely, extremely heavy. He could have hoisted it over the fence by himself.
Even
It
with the wind, though?
well, maybe
And
not.
is it an elderly man? How old's your
No,
neighbor?
he's probably a little older than me. I would bet he's in his
Oh,
mid
he hates you
40s
for
up to
real.
50. He was not in a good mood, and I was not in a good mood either because I was sleepy and tired, and
But yeah, that is rude that he wouldn't. I mean, I just can't imagine a scenario with at least Ryan who would handle that situation where he would be rude. Ryan would I could never imagine. He would be like, "Let me help you. Get it over and no
right.
big deal." And but, you know,
By the way, that's a $500 trampoline that is now mangled. It's twisted and bent, and so, obviously, I'm not happy that my trampoline's in your yard either, sir. Like, I didn't want it over there. I didn't want it bent up and broken, and he just I don't know.
are
I'm
you gonna
trying to
buy
think
another trampoline? Not to go
no.
off track. You're done?
Done with trampolines, stupid
Okay,
things.
we
I'll
last
probably be able to fix this one. I think I can fix it so that it's a normal trampoline. I can bend it back. I
just
don't think that I
smaller.
can fix the net that goes around it to, like,
Oh,
catch
come on, we
booms so he
never had
won't
a
fall off.
net.
Yeah, me
That
either.
net is for pussies. We
For sure.
never had a net. I remember being launched off the trampoline as a child. First of all, my parents, for some reason, put the trampoline, which I don't even think it came with pads, but they put it in like a sticker patch, which was so that was really messed up. And so you'd be barefoot. And yeah, my siblings would launch me off and I would land in the sticker patch. My parents were probably watching from the window laughing the entire time. But now it's so safe. Like I've talked to like medical professionals who say, and insurance people who say, never have a
Mhm.
trampoline.
They're bad news.
Never have a trampoline. There's so many kids that get hurt on a trampoline. Um, we have one, but it's buried in the ground,
Oh,
and
it's like
so
ground level. Yeah,
it's an
that's kinda cool.
in-ground one.
I don't
So
know, those I've heard those are more dangerous, though.
oh, really? Why?
I don't know because
How could they
something
be
about,
more
like well, because you think that it when you're raised up, like, there's more sense of
fear?
danger, yeah. When it's in the ground, you just go crazy, then all of a sudden you start doing crazy flips like you're in 5th grade again, and you land on the grass on your neck, and now you can't walk ever again.
Wow, you jumped really far into that. No, it's in the ground, but I remember, the wind thing and I have myself where I live seen people's trampolines in the middle of the road.
The
And you're
funny
like, "What
part
do you do?" Part of me feels like, and I guess this makes me a bad person, but whatever. I guess I'll just say it. But if my trampoline truly flew away and landed like in a field like I sometimes see it, I don't know, would you this makes me sound awful and my parents are going to think I'm horrible, but I think I'd be too embarrassed to be like, "That's my trampoline. I got to load it up." I feel like I just leave it. I'd be like, "You're a free trampoline now."
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard. You once it's built, you can't really fit it in a truck. I don't know how
What
you're
do
gonna
you
haul it. You'd have
do?
to take it apart to take it back to your house to put it back together. You've probably thrown out the instructions. You're not gonna get it put back together correctly. Yeah, I would probably leave it in the field too. I would have left it in this guy's backyard if he never said anything.
You're like, "Sir, we have never even had a
Yeah, that
trampoline. I'll
wasn't
have you."
ours. It must have come from 3 houses down. Go talk to them. Go ring their ring doorbell at 5:30 in the
If
morning,
anything,
asshole.
Sean, that man should be thanking you for getting up and helping when he didn't even know, just because he might have seen it flip over your fence. It could have gone from another fence,
That's true.
flipped over, and just continued into people's yard.
I do kind of feel like it's karma because I knew there was supposed to be some crazy wind this weekend, and so on my radio show, I was making fun of people who lose their trampolines, and I was saying
Oh,
true story on Friday, I was saying on my show, I was like, "I don't really understand how that happens to anybody because they make stakes, and I
yeah.
invested in the stakes. It's lazy people who don't invest in the stakes, and their trampolines are the ones that fly
So
away.
you
Tie
thought
it
you were
down.
safe.
Tie down your trampolines, it's gonna get windy." Mine was tied down, still didn't work, pulled those bastards right out of the ground.
You know what? I bet that is karma because, that is just I see that pretty fucking regularly. And,
The
my
funny part is
parents
there's 2 sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but there's 2 houses down, I was looking out my back window just to make sure that the remnants of my trampoline before I left for work today were still staying there, so I did
yeah.
tie it with a rope to the fence so that it would just, like, stay to the fence, and so
Nice
I was
job,
checking
MacGyver.
on it before I left, and there's 3 houses down, there's a trampoline, and it looks pristine, just sitting in the middle of somebody's yard.
I
just
have
waving in
literally
the wind.
like I said, I've seen trampolines, but I've never physically witnessed like a UFO trampoline floating up and flying into a field. I would be mesmerized and I would be so excited to see something like that. But I can honestly say I've seen them in fields and in the middle of the road, but I'm like, how did you get here?
Well,
So
mine was not glamorous like that, where it just, like, lifted up UFO style and then kinda floated like a kite, and it was graceful. It looks as though from the remnants of it I didn't watch it, my neighbor clearly did. I'd have to ask him, he probably wouldn't tell me. It looks like it slammed against my fence, went sideways, and then, like, creeped up the fence, and then over the fence, down into his yard, and then started to creep towards his windows, and it's metal,
did a
and it
little
would've
tap it on the
it
window.
would've
Wake
jacked
up,
his
sir.
it would've jacked his house. It would've that's why I'm surprised that he had the audac because it's kind of a walk to get from his front door to my front door, so I'm
Yeah,
surprised
but
he came and rang our doorbell.
he probably needed help, like, he probably needed help doing it on
Yeah,
his
then he
own, and
sees
he was
Shannon
like,
and he's like,
"Who am
"Shit,
I gonna get? Who
now
go"
I'm gonna have to wait another 15 minutes for this asshole to wake up."
You know what? I just feel that there is nothing worse than someone coming to your door and ringing your doorbell. There's no good unless it's Amazon, it's always something where I'm like, "God dang it, I don't wanna
Even
have"
Amazon's bad. I'll tell you about my Amazon story from yesterday. I was out
Oh,
I was out doing yard work in my front yard yesterday, and the Amazon guy came, and we have a fountain in our front yard, and I was trying to clean it out for the season and fill it up with water and get it going, and the
yeah.
Amazon guy came, and he was a little bit different, and he was like, "So, what are you doing today?" And I was like, "Dude, don't you have 1.5 million deliveries?"
Sean,
I'm
I've
trying
said
to
it a
I have
million
my
times.
headphones on.
I've said it a million times, and I will say it a million more times. I've never seen anyone get hit on more than Sean.
I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you.
He
And it
wasn't
I
hitting
don't
on me.
get it. Oh, Sean.
He was not
Why
hitting
would it
on me.
they don't wanna talk?
No,
Come on.
he wanted to be my friend. He was like, "So what are you doing here? What are you doing with that fountain? Are you trying to clean it out?" I was like, "Well, fucking clearly I'm trying to clean it out. That's what I'm like, look at me. Do we have to talk? Can you put my package up?"
Oh my
He's like,
god, you sound like
"Well,
a diva right now.
instead of" and because I was it's heavy, it's concrete. So
Yeah.
instead of, like, fishing the junk that was in there from the winter out, I was using the high pressure part of my hose and trying to spray it all out. That's what he was watching. He was like, "How about we lift that up together and we can just dump all the stuff out?" I was like, "Dude, that thing's concrete. We ain't lifting that thing up." He's like, "Well, we can try."
Now
I
please
was
leave
like,
my boner
"No,
pills by the door.
we can we cannot try." D like, "Have a good day." We don't I even asked him, I think
Well,
that's
can
what I
I
said.
say
I said, "Do you have more deliveries to make? I'm surprised you have time." He's like, "I've always got time to help neighbors in need."
okay, so this is karma because look at how you just made fun of the guy that tried to help you, and then you were, like, laughing, and then that very same evening, your trampoline blew over.
Well, it's morning, yesterday
That's
afternoon to this morning, so I feel like I
you did a
karma
lot
shoulda
of
stopped.
you probably should have.
I met the threshold of time between making fun of the Amazon driver for trying to help me and the time my trampoline blew over the fence.
So on
Anyway,
one side of the
so
fence is a trampoline people that don't like you, and the other side possibly hurt dog people.
I did actually see the dog though, so if you listen to the show, long story short, if you don't listen to the show, my daughter babysat a dog, a toy poodle, and it hurt its leg while it was over at our house and it was limping on with its leg up, and they
Yeah.
lived behind us. I had not seen the dog since. This has been a month ago, and they had a Cinco de Mayo party at this weekend, and I looked back there
Were
and
you invited?
the dog's name no, absolutely not.
That's weird they wouldn't invite you.
The dog's named Mamba, so, I looked and there was Mamba back there on all fours.
And you said, "Yay,
Yeah,
mamba."
I
Okay, well,
said, "We
that's something off
probably
your
are."
plate.
Yeah, we're probably good. I probably have friends with all my neighbors now, and then I go and shoot my trampoline into the guy's house.
I don't know, it sounds like you're kind of a shitty neighbor. What with the trampoline? They probably heard you talk to the Amazon guy and been like, "What
That's
a
true.
jerk."
I it is weird, I must be honest with you, I'm a pretty friendly guy, I think that we could agree on that. I'm not friends with any of my neighbors. I've lived in this house for almost 2 years now. I don't know one of my neighbors' names, including the
Really?
people whose dog we watched, because that was a Shay deal, not me. I don't know. There's one neighbor that's like directly next to us. Don't know them. They don't seem to like us. I try to interact with them a little bit. They don't seem to want to. Then there's this guy that had the tramp in my backyard or in his backyard and don't know them.
You
There's
know
no one
what? It's
across from us.
interesting how in our last neighborhood, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know a damn person. I didn't know anyone's problems. I didn't know anybody who didn't like anybody, who was cheating on anybody. I just lived a quiet life with my curtains drawn. And then when we moved, Ryan goes, "Listen, you really need to start trying more to meet the neighbors." And I'm like, "Well, okay. I guess we're moving to a new neighborhood. It's like a fresh start." It just makes things, I don't wanna say it makes things hard, but the drama level definitely goes up when you insert yourself into a neighborhood situation. I know people who are neighborhood ride or dies, and I think that's wonderful, and they hang out, like, all the time, and that's awesome. But I am just more of, like, a homebody type of person, but I still sometimes feel guilt about not going to, like, they have like Thirsty Thursday and they have block parties and they have all these, these parties and stuff. And I feel like I'm kind of the loser in the
You
neighborhood
don't
where
go?
I just sometimes I go, but and I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm becoming agoraphobic. I went to Shields this weekend. What am I, a fool? And I
Yeah, on the
walked in and it
weekend.
was and I thought I have made a terrible error. Um, but I don't know. But I like knowing.
I've been to your house a couple of times, and your neighbors are always all over there.
I know I love my neighbors. I do, but I will say that in the past few years, I've just kind of become such a crazy homebody. Like we've talked before in prior episodes, and this is not me just saying this. This is me saying that I completely don't give a shit at all anymore. I don't. And there was a time when I really did, and that affected me. Like, they're having a party and they didn't even and now it's really okay. I don't think of it in any kind of bad way, but, I love my neighbors, but I was like you in our last neighborhood. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody.
I
I
feel
didn't
bad for my
bother
kids.
anybody. What?
I feel bad for my kids mostly that we don't know anybody because we came from a neighborhood most recently where it was a very family-oriented neighborhood. There was a lot of kids their age that they played
Yeah,
with. They went over to their houses. They like everyone in the neighborhood kid-wise knew each other, and the parents, we weren't friends necessarily, but we knew each other and we
right.
trusted each other, and if the kids
Mhm.
went to the other people's house, it was fine, and we don't have any of that in this neighborhood at
Are there
all, and
just
that
no young kids where you live?
there's a few, I don't see them very often, and we're a lot more spread out than we were before. The neighborhood we were at before was a lot of houses on top of each other, and now
Yeah.
it's not like that necessarily, and so, yeah, it's just it's I don't
Final
know.
question for you today. Are you gonna What are you gonna do when the kids are like, "We want a trampoline?"
Well, like I
What are you
said,
gonna
I
do?
think, Shannon's a safety freak, so whether or not she lets them jump on it without the net is a story that I'll have to update you on, but, again, I'm pretty sure just from, like, initial looks at it today, the net is jacked, like, it's destroyed and mangled, and it's bad news, but the trampoline itself, I think is okay, and so I think that it will survive another day if we want it to.
I just imagine your backyard with your trampoline and your hot tub that quit working, so you're gonna
Yeah,
use that as a
just a
pool
whole
now this summer. You just are so inventive. Holy
Ah,
cow.
I
Thank you.
need to we also have a swing set back there that just came with the house. It's, like, built into the ground. It's a wooden swing
Oh,
thing,
that's cool.
but not really when you have a 5-year-old who's a chicken and won't even go on a swing, and a 15 and a 13-year-old that have no interest in swings. So, I basically have 3 large pieces of equipment in my backyard that are getting
That
no
you
use.
hate.
The 2 of them are now defunct. They don't work. A hot tub that's broken, a trampoline that's broken, and a swing set that's just there.
Oh, Sean, how I love our talks every
How does
single day.
anybody I need, like, a person. I don't wanna hire 15 different people, but if you're a person that can, like, take care of all of this, come get my hot tub, come get the trampoline, take this swing set, which is concreted into the ground,
You know
out,
what?
get it all out, take it
Have
all, I'll
you
pay well.
well, no, listen. listen, money bags. Have you gone on and tried to like just put it like, especially the hot tub? Some people can fix things like that and they would take it and you could say must pick up. Do that for I guarantee you that if you today put a picture up of your swing set and put free, someone will be there to get it in an
You don't
hour.
understand the swing set. It's not like a Costco swing set. It's like a custom built into my yard swing set that's concreted into the ground.
Well, you're gonna have to, I don't know, Sean, I can't handle any
Oh,
more
you know
talk
what I
about your
wanna do? If
backyard.
I didn't have a wife that would get pissed at me for it, I would take a fucking axe to it. I would go out there with an axe and I'd chop the thing down because you can't it's not screwed into anything. It's big wooden posts that are concreted into the ground.
And when you moved in, you were probably like, "Yay, look at this, it's a
Yeah,
plus,"
Boone's
right?
gonna love this. Yeah, no,
And Boone's like, "Hell no."
and the bird shit on it. It's like a bird perch, and so it's full of bird shit.
Oh, hey, but I do have good news for you that I wanted to remind you. I texted you a couple days ago and I did not hear back, but we are all set on you getting your butthole waxed. I got the person you requested to get the butthole waxing to do
I'm
it.
gonna need to see I told you that the stipulation was I have to be sure that he knows what he's doing, so I'm gonna need to see some sort of certification.
Oh, now you're going to make him get certified?
He ain't waxing my ass unless he has certification.
What if he's just there to hold your hand? It's weird you want him there so bad.
I mean, he's seen my butthole before, so
Okay, well, that's weird. That's not a normal thing.
we're in a
Um,
band together and we have to change clothes in the green room, and sometimes I bend over and pull down my undies and there's my butthole just hanging out and he sees it. And
and he's
so
probably disgusted at how hairy it is.
it's one less person that has to be disgusted by it. That's why he's the one that gets the honors. So you go ahead and get him certified and I'll go do it.
See, I knew you would chicken out. I knew you
I
would chicken
said in
out.
the
You
last
didn't
one,
say
I said
certified. You
he
said
has
he
to
has
know
to
what he's
know what
doing.
he's doing. And I will make sure he knows how to wax a butthole like a whistle.
I don't
And
know if you wax buttholes
see,
like
I
whistles,
knew
but
you would
okay.
chicken out on this. I
All right.
knew it.
You
Okay,
better thank our friends.
yes, I'm going to. Are you really backing out on the butthole thing?
No, I'm gonna need to see. I need to see some sort of proof. It doesn't have to be like a specific waxing university, but maybe he can show me how he does it on a mannequin or something. I don't know.
Okay, okay. My head's a work and I'm putting this together. Um, Thanks to our friends at Talent Co Real Estate. They're just wonderful people. They're gonna get you into a home that you love. Maybe something with no neighbors, so you don't. Definitely nothing by Sean. Or maybe you are Sean and you done pissed the neighbors off that you already have, and it's getting a little sticky, and you want to get into something else. If you want to upsize or downsize, right now it's a scary time in the real estate world. And so you want to know that you're going to get the most money when you're selling, and you want to know you're going to get the best deal when you're buying. And that's where Amy's amazing team comes in. They are your Northern Colorado real estate experts, and you can find them on their website at homeandnoco.com. That's homeandnoco.com. Sean, I
I'll
always
let you
love
know,
the.
Amy. I might be calling soon.
Okay, I was going to
We're
say,
Facebook friends now too. That's like within the last week, me and Amy. We're official, and that might be a sign from God that she somehow knew that we were going to have this big struggle with my neighbors, and I was going to need to move. So, Amy, stand by.
Sean is so adverse. Amy, I'm talking to you. Sean is so adverse to having to deal with things sometimes that are uncomfortable. He'll move. He'll just rather than
You're
have
not
a
wrong.
conversation with his neighbor and be like, I gotta you listen. He'll just pack up and move. So Talent Co Real Estate, and be sure to watch us on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. We do full episodes, and continue to download it because it's going great. And Sean, thank you so much. And I will talk to you tomorrow.
All right. I hope your hair is as nice as mine tomorrow. Bye.
It won't be.
It's windy. Go out and just stick it in the wind.
Just
That's my
stand.
trick. I put some hairspray on it after the wind blows it.
You are
That's it.
such a lady girl.